Alright, Sasquatch.
I don't sound like that.
I'm sounding like me. All characters in this game are over the age of 18.
Guess what we're playing?
Oh, gosh. Doki Doki.
Yeah, guess who's actually playing? That would be Kerry.
This game is not suitable for children or those who are easily disturbed. I know. God.
Hooray! Hooray, sugar pants!
Oh, nice. Hey. I see an annoying girl running towards me over the dust on its waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. Oh my god. That girl is Jerri, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's gonna chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away, you know? However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Jerri catch up to me. Ha! Ah! I overslept again! But I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You say that like you're thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, sugar pants. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Yeah, fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean, even if you want to. Whatever you say, Jerri. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. Who's narrating this?
I guess you are. This is your inner thoughts.
By the way, Sugar Pants, have you decided on a club to join yet? I was thinking the literature club, let me guess. A club? What's a club? A sandwich? I told you already, I'm really not interested in joining any clubs. I don't know how to twerk. I haven't been looking either. That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year.
Oh, look, being called
Did
out.
I? Oh. Because my pants are made of sugar, not on fire. I'm sure it's possible that I did in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Jerri likes to worry a little too much about me when I'm perfectly content just by getting on with the average while spending my free time on games and anime. Is this the part where they like pan to the character, like in The Office, where they're just like sitting in the corner in their little interview bubble? Just talking to the camera?
I
She's not
don't
talking to
think so.
Jerri or Sugar Pants.
She's talking to Sugar Pants. You are Sugar Pants.
Oh.
Did we not figure that out?
Well, it's not saying... Never mind.
Oh, I see. Narrator.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's your inner thought.
It wasn't in quotation marks.
Oh, yeah.
I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college, idiot. Your happiness is really important to me, you know. And I know you're happy now, but I'd die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world.
What's a NEET?
That cuts deep. I don't know. You trust me, right?
Tell us what a NEET is.
Red flag. Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise you'll try a little? Yeah. Yay. Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? See, those are her inner thoughts.
Those are your inner... You're a boy.
Oh.
Sugar Pants is a
Sugar Pants
boy.
is a boy? I haven't seen any boys on this thing yet.
Well, I guess he could really be anyone. I just always assumed. I guess I should.
Totally, dude. Sugar Pants. More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit. Even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. Women. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Hello? Sayori? Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out.
And everyone also left while you were spacing out.
Yeah. I look around and realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's gonna make you late for your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, Know what? Well, that you could come to my club. Sayori? Yeah? There is no way I'm going to your club. See, that's how you gotta be. You just gotta flat out say it. Straightforward. Meanie? Sayori is vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title Vice President. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please! Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. How about that? I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead or if she's just so cunning as to have planned all of this out. Possibly could go either way. I let out a long sigh. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yay, let's go! And thus today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Woof! Everyone, the new member is here. I told you, don't call me a new member. I glance around the room. Girl 1. Welcome to the literature club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you. My name's Girl 1. Girl 2. Seriously, you brought a boy? My name is Girl 2. Way to kill the atmosphere. Boy kitties. Girl 3. Ah, Sugar Pants. What a nice surprise. Welcome to the club, I guess. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. What are you looking at? If you wanna say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes her look like a first-year student. God. She is also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You could just ignore her when she gets mad. Sayori says that quietly into my ear and then turns back towards the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say anything like that. Yuri, who appears to be comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with the people like Sayori and Natsuki. Well, it's nice to meet both of you. And it sounds like you already know Monica. Is that right? Uh-oh. That's right. Uh-oh. Sayori's getting upset. It's great to see you again, Sugar Pants. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked. But we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically, completely out of my league. So, having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monica. Come sit down, Sugar Pants. We made room for you at the table so you could sit next to me or Monica. Me or Monica, whatever. Take your pick. Oh, good, man. It's whatever. I don't care. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. Then how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. Wow. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there is one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Oh gosh. It's a trap, buddy. It's a trap. Get out the literature club. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room, where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! What? Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. Wow, that was crafty of Natsuki there. The whiskers are drawn with icing and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. How cute! So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Ee-hee-hee. Well, you know. Just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs the one first, then Monica. I follow. It's delicious. Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. Classic. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. We've all been there, am I right? Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Holy cannoli! Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good, and I would know. I'm Sugar Pants. Thank you, Natsuki. Well, why are you thanking me? It's not like I haven't heard this somewhere before. Made them for you or anything. I thought you technically did. Sayori said, well, maybe, but not for you know, you, dummy. Alright. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. How exciting. That Yuri? Oh, I wonder what kind of tea it is. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy an old good book? I guess. Don't get yourself intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not insulted. Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know, I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. What's the point of this game? I don't know. Just don't know. So what made you consider the literature club? Okay, now we're getting somewhere. We're talking about the literature club. Alright. I got nothing. I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, and y'all had cupcakes and tea, and you know. That's okay, don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? Ahaha, well, you know, to be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. Yeah, all y'all have to worry about is tea and cupcakes. How nice. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourage others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica really is a great leader. Whatever. Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, you know what I mean? Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like books. You have to work hard to convince people that they're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah, we'll do our best. You know it, everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal, eating cupcakes and drinking tea. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these three. Is that sarcasm? I think that's sarcasm. Sugar pants. Maybe that's why they were all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with that level of enthusiasm about literature. Book reading. So, Sugar Pants, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, sports magazines, Kawasaki, Yamaha. Considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. I read Twitter. Manga! Mutter quietly to myself, half joking. That was full-on joke mode. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess? Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. Uh-oh. About to cast a spell on you. About to read your palm, too. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. Okay, whatever. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seemed so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in. But it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds comfort in the world of books, not people. But I like a lot of things. Bologna sandwiches, ramen noodles, apple juice, basics. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? That's what book reading does to you. Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped something I can relate to at a minimal level. Been there. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Been there too. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you? That hurts, Monica. But I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really just can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world. Whoa, if only for a brief moment. I want you to elaborate on that. I hate horror. Oh, why is that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right. You usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud and Give That Back. Fine. Your cupcakes, your poems. Everything you do is just as cute as you are. Ew. Oh. Back up, Sayori. Sayori sidles? Sayori sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hand on her shoulders. Saddle up, partner. I'm not cute. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Just wasn't expecting that. Didn't think you had it in you. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet? I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment, thank God. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Great idea, Monika. Then, next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Even Stevens, get it? That rhymed. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. There you go. Isn't that right, Sugar Pants? I thought I was talking to my wife just now. Monika smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. Yeah, what's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. Cupcakes. I never said I would join this club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But I'm sorry, I thought... Sugar Pants, y'all. I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. Oh, you weak! You're weak! Come on, Sugar Pants, be stronger than that. One by one, the girl's eyes light up. Yes, I'm so happy. Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey, you signed up for it. Hey, hey. You really did scare me for a moment. Yeah, you know, you're into horror. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed. Well, then it makes it official. Welcome to the literature club, Sonny. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting with a good note. But we didn't do no reading. Everyone, remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monika looks over at me once more. Sugar Pants! I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monika with my mediocre writing skills? Yeah, it probably won't be that hard, dude. I already feel the anxiety well up inside me. Dude, come on, get out of here. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey, Sugar Pants, since we're already here, do you want to rock home together? Wink, wink. That's right, Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she always stayed after school for clubs. Oh yeah. Sure, might as well. Yay. With that, the two of us depart to the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. They have put a spell on you, Sugar Pants. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monika. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls and book reading. Alright, I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. It's time to write a poem. It's time to write a poem. It's time to write a poem.
Do you know what to do?
No, I thought I was going to write a poem.
No, you pick words.
Pick a poem, okay.
Oh wait, you pick words to describe the club member, I guess?
My favorite one?
I guess so.
Well, it's obvious it's anxiety. Heaven sent. Ugh, what? Suicide? What the heck? Skirt? This is weird. This has potential to get pretty weird pretty quick. Anxiety and essence. My two favorite shampoo flavors. Kawaii? Is that a piano? You sound so beautiful, baby. Like a kawaii. Candy pants. Fester. I just like that word. It's fun to say. Captive for sure. Let's do cheeks. My favorite word on this screen is, well, I guess sugar. Gotta do that. I think fluffy again. Infinite. Unstable.
Twirl.
Twirl. Ooh, or nibble. Nibble or
Oh.
twirl.
Oh, whichever.
Oh, man.
What would Sugar Pants pick?
I think nibble. Just because it's a little more creepy. Destiny.
Oh.
Let's see here.
You're a little fickle. You're a little fickle.
Pickle. Yeah, that's gonna be easy to rhyme with. What are you gonna rhyme with all these? You know? Vitality.
Ring cloud.
Is it a vitality or is it a fatality? Yeah, I'm gonna do rain cloud. What rhymes with disoriented? I'm sorry vented.
I sort of vented.
I don't know.
Ented.
Milk. Shout out to Doki Doki for being the game that I'm playing right now. After image. Never heard that word before.
What about
Okay.
congruent?
What about
Makes me think of-
incongruent?
Oh. Yeah, maybe the actual word would be better.
I like it. Universe.
Judgment.
Oh, judgment. And the last, but not least, eternity. Now that's too easy.
Okay. Vertigo.
Vertigo. Yeah. Hi again, Sugar Pants. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. Yeah, that's because you're weak. I was last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Sugar Pants! I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into book reading when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me that you didn't even want to join any clubs this year, loser. And last year too, total dweeb. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Ooh, it's threatening. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature! Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Sugar Pants always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. Not surprised. How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy, it's distracting. No. And you almost set your house on fire once. Okay. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Sugar Pants can become friends too. Sayori? As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situations she just put me into. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Wait, Sayori. Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue this situation. Hey, don't worry about it.
There you
Problem
go.
solved. That's what I say to my wife all the time. Fixes every situation.
Simply
Pro
do not
tip.
worry about
Yeah.
it.
Pro tip, when your wife is worrying about something, just tell her not to.
The worry goes away.
First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book of literature. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. I'm insulted once again. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute?
Oh
Gosh.
my gosh.
Pathetic.
Too bad that wasn't one of the words you could have picked out earlier.
She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this.
Puts it away.
I enthusiastically take the book. Fool! Well, you can read it at your own pace, you slow reader, you.
There's nothing wrong with
Idiot.
being a slow reader.
Yeah. I look forward to hearing what you think. next year. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. Weirdo. Anyways, I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more. But at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. Gosh. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. What a coincidence. She's gonna read it faster than you know.
Yeah,
More
sugar
than
pants.
that.
We don't relate.
Yeah. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. I better get started. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. Totally wasn't looking at you. I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh. It's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Just totally guessing. Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason or anything. Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Oh, I gave it to all my boyfriends. Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday, the funniest thing happened. No, that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. Ah, I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decide to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What it's about? What's it about? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back.
You can read the inside cover to find out.
Look it up. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Alright. I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister, but as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. Woo. And while her life is in danger, she needs desperately to choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships and her life starts to fall apart.
Who's Markov, though?
I thought this was going to be about, like, the same thing that's going on. Like, these 2 people at a literature club.
Interesting.
That's kind of... It's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like I was going to be a nice story. That's what I thought. Sugar pants, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Ah ha ha ha. Yuri gently giggles, all of the sudden. Ha 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 ha. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Sugar Pants?
Your name sounds like an insult.
I know. No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri's into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in. Then suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm so sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. I haven't even started reading it.
I swear.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. Uh-oh. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I'm talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. It just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a book reading club after all. Well, that's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. Ahaha, what are you saying? Just a moment ago you were looking forward to it, and then you were telling me all about it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I hadn't put into my bag. All right. It's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Ah! Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is reading in company with someone.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, sitting next to someone in a school.
Yeah. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. All right. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuring means about reading in company. It sucks. As if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead.
Hey!
What? Sorry. I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean, here, this should work, right? I slide my desk till it's up against Yuri's. Then hold my book more between the two of them. Ah, I suppose so.
Who is them?
Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here, Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way I turn the page and Yuri slides it under her thumb and after it flips it to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than ever before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I could feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page. Oh, sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. Glance over at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. It's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Since you're so stupid, Sugar Pants. Yeah. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Yeah, it's because you take so long, Sugar Pants.
Oh gosh. You know, when me and Rachel would play, like, Legend of Zelda or whatever growing up, she always, like, you know, it has all those text boxes that you read. I honestly just had to go off of what was happening in the background because she'd read it so fast, and I would only read, like, 5 words. So I was like, well, this is just life for me.
Yeah.
Slow reader.
Yeah, this is my world. You can either join or get out.
My nightmare.
Yeah. God, I don't know what was harder, keeping up with who was reading or reading yourself.
Oh, reading myself. I just did not.
Totally.
I counted the sentences to find where I went.
Yeah.
Practiced it. Anyway.
Instead, I just assume she just finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Awkward. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. You can't read one book with 2 people, especially if one is reading super slow. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri! This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways. But she also second guesses all the things that she says and does.
Just like you!
Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see her into your head or anything. But they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment. But Sugar Pants, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait. I didn't mean it that in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I didn't really know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. You just made it worse.
Yeah, you should have just shut up, sugar pants.
I guess I more meant it's kind of cute.
Question mark? Is it? Recovery.
What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on the top of my thumb. Alright, I guess I'll do some more reading on tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference. Okay. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. Hint taken. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning, I guess. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left on the book, then slip it back into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah? My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait. Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my poem to first? Natsuki. I told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday.
Where are they?
It's probably only fair if I shared mine with her first.
Were you?
What? Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you. That's a little blunt. Well, excuse me. It's not like I said it was bad. Hey, I didn't want to be in this club anyways. It just didn't evoke any emotions. So basically, it's not cute enough for your tastes? Do you want to get smacked? Ooh, maybe. I'll pass. Sigh. Well, anyways, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it. Well, after... Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. Okay, sounds about right. It's beautiful. Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because it sucks. Everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, but you can make it all dumb and stuff too. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Poem.
Stop it.
Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like it when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about a simple writing is it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then I made it fall flat on purpose. Totally meant to do that. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. Or maybe that's how you write jokes, and that last line was just the punchline. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did ya? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with the last comment. I don't really care how. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Who should I show my poem to next? Sayori! Yeah? This is a good poem, Sugar Pants. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in the spare time? Hey, I guess you're right. But that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously. Or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy just that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but it doesn't mean it'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Sugar Pants. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Try new things like this for other people. That's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah. And I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm gonna hold you to that then. Yay! Now you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. Whoa. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed. Making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above. The sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you, too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. The end. Sounds like Sayori, this is just a guess, but is this your first poem? Did you just wait till this morning to write this? No, I spent like a week on it. Just a little bit. Teehee. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah. I didn't mean to say it was a bad poem. It just came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah. Especially that last line. But I'm not mad. I made eggs and toast. Even though you were late to school? It's bad to skip breakfast? I get all cranky? Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This was so much fun. Monica's the best. Yeah? But next time I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. Yuri! As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional! What was that? Exceptional! Did I just say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but it ends up covering her whole face because her hand is huge. He's gonna hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem once again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in a poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing here I recognize is the new writers as they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style that's separate from a topic matter, and they form fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for, you little noob.
Writing noob.
There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback.
You smell like
Natsuki can be a little bit biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. We're in high school. Sorry, it's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri's apologizing to herself or me or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do! I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Oh, great. Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this just supposed to be a book reading club? Ah, her perfect handwriting. Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining street light to have withstood the test of time. Okay, I haven't heard a word rhyme yet. Anyways. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calm. Breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. The end. I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting.
Oh
my god.
Shut up.
She's one of those people who just want you to give her a compliment. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. I could barely read that cursive. But it took you a long time to read. Yeah, that's because I'm dumb.
The established sugar pants
yeah.
is stupid.
Well, I just don't read script very often.
Oh.
I actually think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. I also like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest, since it's our first time sharing, I wanted you to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose, for you little noobs. Are you into Ghost, Yuri? Oh, I thought you'd never ask. Hoo-hoo. Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Sugar Pants. Really? I must have totally missed the point, yeah. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of a poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost. Lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive.
You're wonderful. You're so smart.
Yeah.
I am so dumb.
I am so stupid. It's nothing really. Yours was impressive too, so nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this. But in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm gonna keep doing the best for you guys, Sugar Pants. Me too. Monica, I suppose. Hi, Sugar Pants! Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? You can write it on a note and put it in the complaint jar over there on the front desk. Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, I wanted to share your poem with me. It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Sugar Pants. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know.
We've all had to hear your poem.
Yeah. But it's that short of a barrier, and we'll all learn to get past soon. Yep, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Great job, Sugar Pants. Let's read the poem. I wasn't going ooh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. Yeah, I picked a lot of big words.
Like eternity.
Eternity. And fluffle.
Universe.
Fickle. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. Yep, that's a good rule to live by. That way it always counts when I put in some effort. Aha, that's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Jerri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness, Jerri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively, both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all of the nuances. It can only take years of practice, which I'm assuming Jerri has at this point. I never really asked, though. I'm sure I'm somewhere near her level yet. Oh, no. Nowhere. Nowhere, sorry. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased towards their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most, so don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. You just be your own self. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything, Pumpkin. Aha! Aha! Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to be not very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See, the direction the spackle protrudes. A noisy neighbor? An angry boyfriend? I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel blind like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It wasn't too deep. Stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in. The end. So, what do you think? It's very, freeform, if that's what you want to call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. Yeah, it is. A lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the time being towards lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure about how to put it, but I guess you could say that it's had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a little bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about these stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone's just better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about this is, if you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Foo! I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. As if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities.
Well, they do think you're stupid.
They all do, yeah. And he only thinks they're cute. None of them want to be there. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is just a book reading club after all. I sigh. Guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Ah, thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss a symbolism or something? It's clearly about feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. Your handwriting, whatever. I was trying to say something nice. I didn't even read it. You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Easy there, ladies. Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Okay. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. You want something nice? If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Sugar Pants did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I am 17 years old.
No, everyone is 18.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless, of course, I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Sugar Pants liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. It's not saying much, Yuri. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh, I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. Yuri? That's not what Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Sugar Pants appreciates my advice more than he appreciates yours. How you know you didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I wouldn't deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Is everything okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one. I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Sugar Pants started showing up. What? Where did that come from? This is a book reading club. Natsuki! Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly, both girls turned towards me as if they just noticed I was standing there. Sugar Pants. She's just trying to make me look bad. It's not true. She started it. If I could get over herself and learn to appreciate the simple writing as more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Sugar Pants. Wait, there's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning of those most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also waste. You understand that, right, Sugar Pants? Well, how did I get dragged into this first place? It's not like I know anything about writing. Why do you girls care what I think? But whomever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So, of course, that's going to be... Oh, God. I don't have the energy for that.
Just so you know, Kerry has never... He doesn't
Read
know anything
before.
about this game, so don't comment any spoilers. I ask of you.
I don't like either one of them.
Well, then, bow out.
Help me, Sayori. Natsuki glares at me, drying up any words I had in my mouth. So instead I turn to Yuri. Yuri. But Yuri's expression is so defenseless that I can't bring myself to say anything to her. Sayori. Yeah, everyone's fighting is making Sayori uncomfortable. How can the two of you keep fighting when you know you're making your friend feel like this? Sugar Pants. Well, that's not her problem. This isn't about her. I agree. It's unfair for others to interject their own feelings into our conflict. Yeah, unless Sayori wants to tell Yuri that a stuck-up jerk she's being. You would never. It's your immaturity that's made her upset in the first place. Excuse me? Are you listening to yourself? This is exactly why. Exactly nobody likes you. Oh, stop. Natsuki, Yuri. You guys are my friends. I just want everyone to get along and be happy. My friends are wonderful people, and I love them because of their differences. Natsuki's poems, they're amazing because they give you so many feelings with just a few words. I should have picked someone else. God.
It's just more reading.
And Yuri's poems are amazing because they paint beautiful pictures in your head. Everyone's so talented. So why are we fighting? Because, well, also, Natsuki's cute, nothing wrong with that. Whatever. And Yuri's boobs are the same as they always were. Big and beautiful. Sayori. Sayori stands up triumphantly. Monica stands behind her with her bewildered expression. I'll make some tea. Thank God. Yuri rushes off. Suki sits down with a blank expression on her face, staring at nothing. So, this is why Sayori is vice president, I whispered Monica. She nods in return. To be honest, I might come off as a good leader and I can organize things, but I'm not very good with people. I couldn't even bring myself to interject. As president, that's kind of embarrassing of me. Aha, nah. It's not like I can blame you. I wasn't able to say anything either. Well, I guess that just means Sayori is amazing in her own ways, isn't she? You could say that. She might be an airhead, but sometimes it's weirdly suspicious that she knows exactly what she's doing. I see. Take good care of her, okay? I would hate to see her get herself hurt. That makes two of us. You can count on me. Monica smiles sweetly at me, causing my stomach to knot. Such a genuine person really does make a good president, regardless of what she says. Pfft. If only I can get the chance to talk to her a little more. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. Darn. How did you feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. Sugar Pants, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome! In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you learn something for your friends too. so your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself. I did learn a little more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those who I want to impress. I nod to myself with a newfound determination. Sugar Pants! Ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Yee! Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori? About what happened earlier. What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki? Does that kind of thing happen often? No. That's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. They never fight. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them.
No, I guess not after that long gap of silence.
I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they'd make good friends with you. Fool! You know, Sugar Pants, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you too. That's... Every day is going to be so much fun. Sigh. It looks like Sayori still hasn't caught into the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? We'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay. Yeah, let's do this. Woo! That was a weird game.
Well, you've only just begun. Nothing's happened.
Yeah, nothing's happened. I joined a book reading club. Nobody read any books.
No, you read a book.
We just wrote poems.
No, you read a book with your friend there.
I read like a chapter. I've been doing a lot of talking. Don't usually do that much talking.
I know. You were forced to speak.
Alright everyone, thanks for watching. If you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe and to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on what the Sasquatch is up to. Hope you have a super awesome, spectacular day, and we'll see you out there somewhere. Bye!
Bye!